Hi dear friends, welcome. This is Venisham, faculty of Computer Science Department, Jyoti Engineering College. Today we are going to discuss about the concept of arrays in PHP. You know, array is one of the most important data structure in a programming language, which is used to store the data in a well-structured manner. Of course, these are supported by different kind of programming languages, but at the same time, this is also supported by PHP, but in a different manner. Okay, so array is a generalization of arrays of other languages. So there are different types of languages. It supports arrays in some different manner, but this is something like a generalization of arrays. A PHP array is really a mapping of keys to values, where the keys can be numbers or strings. So that is an important case where we have keys, mapping of keys to values, and these keys are numbered or it may be string. Whenever it is numbered, then that is we have elements of that particular array will be in a sequential order. But whenever the key is a string, elements can be maintained in any order. No, the order is not important. Okay, that is the cases. So there are three types of arrays: index array, associative array, and multi-dimensional array. So when the key is a number, okay, at that time we will call it as an index array, that is an array with a numeric key. This is actually the conventional array that we have already discussed, already familiar with the C program languages like C programming, okay, where we have indexes start from 0, 1, 2, we have numeric key. Okay, that is an example of index array in PHP. And then associative array is an array where each key has its own specific key. So where the keys will be of different. For example, the key may be a string. Okay, the key may be a string. That is a situation. So you can use any string for the key, for as a key. So that is what is meant by associative key. And then we have multi-dimensional array. So an array containing one or more arrays within itself. So that is known as multi-dimensional array. Okay, so these are three different types of array which are supported by PHP. Okay, now array creation. How to create array? So there are two different methods which are listed here. You can see that. So the first method is assigning a value to an element of an array. Okay, so here we have directly I am going to assign values like 10, 23 to an array A1. The name of the array is A1. Okay, now what is going to happen? Yeah, this will form a sequential array, that is an index array, where A1 of 0 will be 10, A1 of 1 will be 20, and A1 of 2 will be 30. So then we have the second method. Second method is by using a function array. Okay, so here the concept is same. The left hand side we have the name of the array, and then equal to array the function, and within that we will be passing values. The elements of this array is listed as parameters to this function. So both these cases will form similar type of array. So we can check the situation through the code. Here I have an example, so please make sure. So I am going to make array in two different manner. Okay, so first of all, let I have an array like $A1, $A1. I am going to the conventional method. It's something like a 10, 20, and 30. This is one method. I am going to make an array, and this is I have a second method. Here I have another array like $A2. I am representing by using the function array. Within that I will be passing this function. Okay, I can use. I am using another values like 10, 100. I mean 100, 200, and 300. Okay, now I have two different arrays. Okay, now I am trying to whenever we have an array, each element of the array can be used. It can be accessed through index variable. That is okay. So I am going to try. I am going to access the elements of this array. For example, I can use for each loop. It is one of the simplest method to iterate through an array. So here I am going to use the first array. I need to display the content of the first array. That means for each $1, as I have a variable here v, and within that I will be writing echo. So we have the case, and of course I need the element is something like, since it is $v, the elements will be copied to $v. So this is one method. This code will print the content of the first array. What is that array? A1. So let me check the output of this code. Okay, so here we have, so you can see that the array elements are directly printed, that is 10, 20, and 30. Okay, now instead of the first array I am going to use the second array. What is the name of the array? It is A2. So currently we have A2. I am going to print the content of each element of the array, that is A2. So here I have the code. Now you can see that 100, 200, 300. So it means that both methods of array creation, it works well. And of course you can directly access each element of this array by using direct superscripting. For example, I have a statement. I'm going to print the first element of the array, that is a1 of yeah, let it be 0. Sorry, yeah, a1 of 0. So this is a super scripting method. Okay, so what will be the output? A1 of 0, it is 10. Okay, that is 10. So let me check, will it works? Output should be 10. Okay, yeah, that is correct. So this is how to access an array, and this is a very simple method of creating arrays. So now we have indexed arrays. Of course, an indexed array or a numeric array stores each array element with a numeric index. Actually, what we have already discussed is an array. It is an example of indexed arrays, because we so far we have found array has index like 0. First element have index 0, then second have 1. Of course, that is an example of index array. And the elements of the array can be of any data types. Okay, with this example, in the first cases example, it was 10, 20, 30. The elements is an integer. But here we have another example of array, that is the colors. Okay, and which are the elements? Elements are actually strings. The elements are something like red, green, and blue. So of course these elements is an example of index array, because here the address or the first element's index is 0, and second element is green, its index is 2, and third element second element is 1, and third element is 2. So this is an example of index array. By using indexing, that is, we have numerical keys. Actually, that is numerical key. Okay, next we have associative array. So in associative array, the keys assigned to values can be arbitrary, and it may be user defined string. So any user defined string can act as a key. So here we have an example. You can see that the name of the array is ages. Okay, and I'm going to create that array by using the function array, and then you can see that what is the first key? First key is a string, that is Peter, and what is the second key? Clark, and third key is John. And of course, what is the value of the first? What is the element? Which is actually the element? Which is the element? The element is, the first element is 22. You can see that the first element is 22, and key is Peter, and the second element is 32. Element is, that is value is 32, and the key is Clark, and the last one is element is 28, and the key is John. So how we are using an array operation? You can see that assignment and a greater than symbol. Okay, so this is how to create an associative array. Okay, now I can check this. So I am going to make an associative array. Okay, so please check this function. So I have the same cases now. I have an array A2. So I am going to create associative array. For that purpose, I am going to string. So I have something like this first. I am going to keep it as a key for the first. Okay, now we have, this is the case. Okay, now, and then I have the second. Let it be the key as second. Okay, and now that is over, and now we have the last case, that is the third. Okay, so this also works. So I have created an associative array here. You can see that, and I can access each element of that array. I can access each element of this array. For example, I have the first, the name of the array is A2. Okay, you know that. Yeah, the name of the array is A2. Okay, it means that some sort of problems here. I think yeah, here we have missed the arrow. No problem, I think we have cleared it. Okay, now I am going to print the first element of the array. What is the first element of the array? It is 100 actually. So what will be using? I'll be using the first. What is the key? It is the key actually. So I'll be using this one. Okay, now what should be the output? The output should be 100. Okay, let me check for the output. Yes, you are getting the 100. Okay, why you are getting the 100? Because you have used the key as first. And what is the key now? The key is a user defined string. So similarly, you can print any of this element. So I have the last element now. You can see that. So the last element you will be getting 300 now. Okay, of course the output is correct. So this is the situation. So now this is how to form an associative array. So we'll be using the string user defined strings as keys. So the keys are first, second and third, and the values are actually the array elements are 100, 200 and 300. Okay, so now moving to the presentation. Okay, multi-dimensional array. So multi-dimensional array is an array in which each element can also be an array, and each element in the sub-array can be an array or further contain array within itself and so on. So the process is continued. That depends upon the multi-dimensional array. Okay, the process is continued. You can, a special case is a two-dimensional array where we have originally we have two arrays, and within each of the array again we have another arrays. That is an example of two-dimensional array. So here we have an example that describes the multi-dimensional array. The name of the array is contacts. You can see that name, and within that we have first array. So this is the first array, and this is the second array. The index of the first array is actually array 0. Yeah, that is contacts of 0. It is again an array. So contacts of 0 will gives name as Peter Parker and email as Peter Parker. But similarly, the second element of this array contacts is here. Okay, so that is an example of multi-dimensional array. And now how to view structures and values. Of course, there are compared to the C language, here PHP has a two different important functions. These two functions are used to see or print the structure of a particular array, or the structure or find the value of a particular array. So these two functions are print _ r and var_dump. So they will simply display the structure of an array, including its index, value and etc. So here we have an example. You can see that the first example, I have an array that consists of 10, 20, 30. Now I am using the function print _ r, yeah, a1. So what will be the output? The output will be something like, you can see that. What is the concept? Here each index is showing index 0, index, since this is an example of index array, indexes are 0, 1, 2, and the contents are also placed 10, 23. You can see that 10, 23. So this is the output of print -r. And of course we have the second function, that is the var_dump, and of course this will give a very detailed and extra information, additional information other than the content of print array. You can see that we have the same array here. You can see that a1 10, 20, 30, and what is the output of var_dump? Output of var_dump _ a1. What is that? You can see that it will give the type of this variable. Actually var_dump is actually dumping the informations of a variable. Okay, that is actually var_dump stands for, dumping the information of a variable. So what is that variable? a1. What type of variable it is? What is the type? Its type is array. That is the first case. You can see that. And then since it is an array, its size is given here, 3 is the size of this array. And then similar to the print array, we have the indexes 0, 1, 2, etc. And then we have data 10, 20, 30, and in addition to the data type is also displayed. In addition to the data type is also visible. You can see that is the case. So compared to print r, we have two more important information which is given. One is the array size is given. Of course the array size is given, and second one is the type of the data for each indexes or for each places. Okay, so this is what I can explain with an example in a very good manner. Now listen, I am going to create a very small array. Yeah, let it be x. I am going to create an array x. Okay, let it be a conventional manner. I have something like 10, 40, yeah, 50. This is my array. Now I am simply using the print first method. What is the first method? It is print -r. So print -r $x. So what is that? $x. $x is my array. Okay, so what will be the output of this code? Let us take what is going to happen. We have already found the structure of this output, and anyway we can work now array 1. So here I have the output. You can see that this is the output print array. Here the indexes are there, and also the values are also there. So now I can make a small change. So I have something like yeah, I am going to add a 40, yeah, again 40 also. Okay, and yeah, so that is also included. You can see that as the fourth element. So that is the importance of this print array. And now instead of print array, I am going to use yeah, it was that the second var_dump. So vardam, we can use vardam. So of course it will give more informations compared to print r. So this is the output of this vardam. You can see that array, type of the array, the size of this array, okay, and the indexes and the type. And again the array, this particular type of array, you can have any number of data types actually. For example, I am going to add one more elements to this particular array. So what this is something like I'm going to add is a string here. Okay, so PHP supports different types of data types in a single array. Okay, I can make it. Now I am going to add vardam bit. So what is the situation? I'm going to add, I have simply added one more elements and I'm going to print this. So now the situation is that you can see that in the last index, that is index number 4, that is as the 5th element, a new element is added, age, and its type is string. So this is the importance or peculiarity of a PHP array, where this PHP array, it supports different types of data types, elements of different types of data types in a single array. So that is the most important case. Okay, now accessing array elements. So individual array elements can be accessed by subscripting. So the value in the subscript, which is enclosed in bracket, is key of the value being referenced. The same brackets are used regardless of whether the key is a number or a string. Okay, so for example, the value of the element whose key is Mary in array ages can be set to 29 with the following statement. So you can see that. What is this meaning? So we are going to set the value 29 to the array ages having key Mary 1. So this is how to access an array. And if this key is a numeric one, then of course you can directly give that numeric, like ages of 0, ages of 1. So this is applicable for both type of arrays. That means indexed arrays and also what is that, associative arrays. So that is how to access array element. Now we have a special type of construct that is known as list construct. So what is the importance of list constructs? So multiple elements of an array can be assigned to scalar variables in one statement using the list construct. Okay, no problem. We have an example. You can see that already I have an array trees. I have an array trees with 3 elements. These are the elements of an array trees: oak, pine, and binary. Now I am going to use the list construct list, and I am going to list within the I have 3 different parameters for this list function. You can see that I have 3 different variables. These variables like hardwood, softwood, and data structure. They are known as scalar variable. Okay, so this scalar variable I have used as an argument, and then which is assignment operation, and then the array. So what is actually going to happen in this example? The hardwood, softwood, and data structure are set to oak, pine, and binary respectively. That is the importance of list construct. Okay, we can work with that particular case, no problem. I can show you. It's very simple concept anyway. So for that purpose, I have something like, yeah, anyway, it's an array. So let it be. This array is something like, let it be a string array this time. Okay, like a red, yeah, let it be blue, yeah, red, blue, and green. Okay, so this is an array. I'm going to create a array of strings. Okay, so x, what is x? X is an array of strings, array of colors. Okay, you can also see that. And now I'm going to use the list, that is list. So list of since I have 3 elements to the array, I need to use 3 different scalar variables. So let it be like a1, sorry, yeah, it is dollar, yeah, it is dollar a1, comma, dollar a2, and then dollar a3. Okay, so I have used 3 scalar variable. So list of this, and which is equal to, I'm going to assign this array. What is the name of array? It's x. Okay, and now I'm going to print each element. So I need to display the scalar variables. That is my purpose actually. So for that I have used the first index, which is first scalar variable, that is a1. So let us check what is going to happen. So what should be the output actually? The output is something like a1. Here this is the first scalar variable. So the first scalar variable will be having the value in the first index. What is first index value? That is red. So we need to get an output like red. That should be, that is the case. Let us check what is going to happen now. Okay, so we are getting the case. Okay, so it means that it simply means that list is a special type of construct which are used to, yeah, which are used to copy, which are used to assign, which are, yeah, whenever we have multiple elements of an array, that can be, it can be assigned to scalar variables in one statement. That is actually the list construct, and this is a very simple method. Okay, anyway, with this I am going to stop this presentation. So thank you for watching. Thank you very much.